Hello, welcome, how's it going? Today, I'm going to be sharing my top 20 coasters. Now, considering I've only ridden 21 in total, I don't really have much experience, so don't take my opinion as fact. In fact, if you disagree, comment below what I should change around. Now that we're past that, let's start with number 20, which is Casey Jr. at Disneyland Paris. Now, as I said, my first few rides aren't exactly thrilling, more just fun experiences, and this ride is exactly that. The Disney parks look so nice, and it all comes together to make something beautiful. Again, after the first few, the rides will be a bit more thrilling. Speaking of thrilling, let's move on to 19. Now, at number 19, we have the Dragon at Legoland Windsor Resort. Now, if this list was for theming, this coaster would probably be in the top 10, as it's in a castle to start with. The initial storytelling part of the ride is very effective before the transition into the outside layout. Now, the outside layout is a bit stale, but I think the theming of the castle claws back some respect from me. But a ride I think has a better layout, and the 18th spot is the Runaway Mine Train at Alton Towers. Now, one of the best parts of this ride is the ride operator going choo choo every lap. Besides that, my favourite part is going under the tunnel next to the rapids. There's decent elevation change for this ride, and I'm genuinely impressed by it every single time that I ride. Now, another ride that impresses me is 13 at Alton Towers. Now, to me, this ride is fine, but it's not the standout coaster of the park. But the world's first element is amazing. If you don't know what happens, don't worry, I won't say. But that is what makes the ride, which is, I suppose, what Merlin wanted to achieve with this coaster. Now, moving on to number 16, we have The Walking Dead at Thorpe Park. Now, I absolutely love this ride, and I think this is because the first time I ever rode it, there were actors in the queue line, and it actually scared me. But ever since that, it's become less scary, and less times there have been actors. However, I am still scared to this day of the siren that goes off in the entry queue line, and I don't think that will ever change. Now, at number 15, we have Crush's Coaster at Disneyland Paris. Now, this is a coaster that I absolutely love, because I always have the memories of sitting in that queue line for 2 hours as soon as the Walt Disney Studios had opened, and I think that's something that I've just remembered so vividly, and it's something that's stuck with me. And also, it was the first spinning coaster I'd ever been on, and I really liked that idea. And then of course, the theming of the coaster was absolutely beautiful, so I think that's why it completely deserves its spot as 15th on the list. Okay, now at number 14, we have another coaster at Disneyland Paris, but this time we have Big Thunder Mountain. Now, this is a ride that I've loved for so long. Again, I think the same as Crush's Coaster, this coaster brings along so many memories, and it was just such a thrilling experience being much younger. So again, such as Crush's Coaster, I think it fully deserves its spot as 14th on the list. Now, at number 13, we have Dragon's Fury at Chessington. Surprisingly, I only just went on the coaster this year for the first time. One reason why I put this above Crush's Coaster, as of course they're both spinning coasters, I felt that the fast-paced layout was more for the thrill rider that I am now, compared to the slower and more family-orientated layout that comes with Crush's Coaster. Now, at number 12, we have Indiana Jones at Disneyland Paris. In my opinion, this is one of the top coasters at Disneyland Paris. However, my problem with the ride is that it's extremely rough, and the tight layout doesn't help to sort out that problem. Also, one day I would love if they reopened the ride with the backwards trains. Who knows? Okay, now at 11 we have the world's first vertical drop roller coaster, Oblivion at Alton Towers. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the coasters that I'm actually most scared of, and I think that's due to the suspense. Firstly, in the queue line, and secondly, that you're being held over that massive drop. However, the short duration of the ride is what gives it its 11th position on this list. Now, that was my best coasters from 20 to 11, but as you can see, I've not done 10 to 1, and that's what I'm waiting for. So you know what I'll do? Very soon, I'll release part 2, but as you're waiting for that, just relax, enjoy your day, have a good Christmas if you celebrate that, or whatever else you celebrate. But yeah, peace out.